Breaking news, Payton has officially entered the reality TV Hall of Downfall. And trust me, you're gonna want to grab your popcorn for this one. Word on the street is that the woman who once strutted through love and marriage, Huntsville with all that boss energy, got hit with the biggest plot twist of her career. I've exposed and allegedly betrayed by none other than Martell Holt himself. Yes, the same Martell who swears he's all about family values while juggling chaos like it's an Olympic sport. But here's the kicker. Insiders are saying Destiny's exit wasn't just about drama, it was about manipulation, secret meetings, and a silent war that's been brewing behind the scenes for months. So, what really went down? Was Destiny set up? Did Martell pull strings to push her out? Or did Destiny's own ego finally catch up with her? Fans are spiraling, group chats are exploding, and the internet is asking one question: how? Did the woman who once called herself the realist on reality TV become the biggest casualty of her own storyline? Buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you makes the reunion drama look like kindergarten nap time. They say reality television never sleeps, but in Huntsville, the drama has officially spilled. Off-screen and into chaos that no producer could have scripted. Destiny Payton, once the poised beauty with a boutique, a story of resilience, and a loyal fan base, now finds herself at the center of a scandal that feels too big to be coincidence. One day, she is filming confessionals and sipping coffee on set. The next, she is erased from the storyline and replaced by silence. Fans are asking what really happened and why her name vanished from the next season's call sheet. People close to production whisper that this was not a simple creative choice, but a calculated move triggered by quiet manipulation and personal grudges. The whispers all lead back to one familiar name: Martell Holt. The man who somehow always manages to be at the heart of every storm. Behind the smiles and rehearsed apologies, there are reports that he was working angles, planting seeds, and convincing producers that Destiny had become a liability. Those who were there claim he used charm and strategy to present himself as the show's savior while painting Destiny as the problem child. The story supposedly began with a private meeting that was never meant to get out. Destiny and Martell were seen at a restaurant in Huntsville where voices rose and hands moved fast enough to catch the attention of diners at nearby tables. One server claimed she overheard Destiny saying she was tired of being used, while Martell calmly replied that business is business. Hours later, he was seen leaving alone, phone pressed to his ear, pacing like someone closing a deal. Within days, Destiny's scenes started getting shorter. Her confessionals trimmed down 2 seconds, and the editing took on a colder tone. Fans noticed immediately, questioning why the woman who once carried her own storyline now felt like a background extra. Social media detectives began piecing the puzzle together, posting timelines, old interviews, and screenshots that suggested something dark was happening behind the scenes. Then came the so-called performance review meeting, which according to insiders was where Destiny's fate was sealed. One assistant who worked near the production office claimed she saw notes labeled cast value analysis, with Destiny's name circled in red ink. The document allegedly mentioned that she had become too guarded and uncooperative, that her live streams were affecting the network's image, and that the audience engagement for her segments had dropped significantly. Another line reportedly stated, "Strong viewer interests only when involved in Melody's story." That one sentence might have been the nail in the coffin, because in reality television, once your name only matters in relation to someone else, your time is running out. By the next week, producers had already started floating the idea of cutting Destiny quietly and shifting focus to a fresh storyline, centered on Martell's new ventures. But things were not as professional as they appeared. People close to the show say Martell had been lobbying hard to protect his own image after fans began accusing him of being obsessed with his ex-wife's success. Having Destiny around reminded people of that messy chapter because she was there through it all. And she knew things that could hurt his carefully managed narrative. Some believe Martell convinced producers that Destiny had become unpredictable, that she might leak personal information, and that her temper was becoming a risk on set. Whether those claims were true or not, they worked. Destiny received what sources describe as a soft dismissal call late one night, informing her that production was going in a different direction. She didn't take it well. A friend who spoke to her that week said she felt blindsided, that she cried and shouted that she had given too much to the show to be tossed aside like an extra dot online. The reaction was instant. Fans started tagging her in posts, asking if the rumors were true. But instead of addressing them directly, Destiny posted a cryptic message on Instagram saying, "Real ones move in silence. The rest move in fear." The post exploded with comments, half of them supportive, half demanding answers. The network said nothing, fueling speculation that the rumors were accurate. Around the same time, an anonymous page claiming to be run by someone inside the editing team dropped alleged screenshots of messages between producers discussing her lack of cooperation. Whether those screenshots were real or fabricated, they sent the internet into a frenzy. Podcasts picked it up. YouTubers dissected every frame of her last episodes. And fans pointed out moments that now seem suspicious, scenes where other cast members avoided eye contact, where producers cut away mid-conversation, where Destiny's words seemed chopped out of context. Meanwhile, Martell stayed quiet, which for him was strange. Usually he loves the sound of his own name, but this time his silence spoke louder than any interview. People began suspecting that he was intentionally letting Destiny take the fall to redirect attention from his own declining reputation. Every time someone mentioned Destiny's firing, Martell's name slipped back into the conversation, keeping him relevant without lifting a finger. A clever move or just another accident of timing, depending on who you ask. What no one could deny was that something deliberate had taken place. Destiny's downfall wasn't just another reality TV storyline fading into the background. It was a purge, a reset, a move made to protect those who had more power in the room. And whether by manipulation, betrayal, or pure bad luck, Destiny Payton found herself on the losing end of the Huntsville power game. Asterisk, when Destiny went silent after the firing news broke, did not stop people from talking. In fact, it made the noise even louder. The more she avoided questions, the more the internet filled in the blanks. And the blanks became stories that spread faster than truth ever could. Anonymous blogs began dropping what they called leaked production notes, claiming Martell had secretly attended several meetings with higher-ups weeks before Destiny's scenes were cut. One post even said he had pitched a new storyline focusing on his growth as a father and businessman, and that cutting ties with certain cast members would help him rebrand. The timing looked suspicious because right after those alleged meetings, Destiny disappeared from promotional material and Martell's interviews started sounding suspiciously rehearsed, filled with lines about focusing on positivity and moving forward. Behind the polished smiles, though, insiders claimed chaos. Crew members allegedly had to re-edit entire episodes overnight to erase references to Destiny, and one editor supposedly quit mid-project, saying the direction of the show no longer felt honest. The public loved the mess even more. Every rumor became clickbait. Every theory another breadcrumb in a trail of betrayal. As days passed, Destiny's social media lives turned from confident to defensive. She claimed she was taking a break, that sometimes silence is power, but her tone betrayed exhaustion. During one late-night session that fans screen-recorded before she deleted it, she hinted that people she once trusted had chosen fame over friendship. The comment section lit up instantly with fans tagging Martell, and within hours it was trending. Online detectives began digging through old footage, pausing at frames where Martell and Destiny exchanged glances, insisting the tension had been visible all along. Then came the supposed leak of voice notes, allegedly between Destiny and a producer, where she complained about feeling set up. The clips were short and unverified, but they spread like wildfire. By morning, every gossip page had reposted them with captions like, "Proof Destiny knew the setup was coming." Even if those clips were fake, the damage was real. Sponsors quietly pulled back from her beauty line partnerships. Podcast hosts canceled her appearances. And suddenly, the woman who once seemed unstoppable was fighting shadows from every direction. Meanwhile, Martell pretended to rise above the drama, giving interviews about fatherhood and business reinvention. He called himself misunderstood and said he wanted peace for everyone. But even casual viewers could tell he was enjoying the spotlight a little too much. Each time Destiny's name trended, Martell somehow found his way into a headline, not by accident, but by precision. Some fans began calling it his signature move, chaos disguised as concern. Sources close to production whispered that Martell was feeding select bloggers tiny pieces of gossip just to keep his name circulating. It was classic misdirection, the kind you see in political scandals, not reality television. Producers reportedly looked the other way because the buzz kept ratings alive. But privately, they were worried that things were spiraling too far beyond control. By this point, the show's reputation was at stake. What was once marketed as a story of love and business had turned into a soap opera of betrayals. Secrets and alliances shifting faster than scripts could be rewritten. The real turning point came when a supposed internal memo leaked online, suggesting that network executives were quietly investigating whether Martell had violated any contractual ethics by interfering in production decisions. It was unclear who leaked it or whether it was even real, but the public treated it like gospel. Fans began tagging executives, demanding answers, and within days, the show's reputation was hanging by a thread. Social media exploded with people calling for transparency, while others mocked the entire situation as just another scripted stunt for attention. Still, some longtime viewers claimed this time felt different. There was something raw and unpredictable about the fallout, as if everyone involved had lost control of the narrative. In the midst of it all, Martell posted a photo of himself smiling in front of a luxury car with the caption, "Growth Season," which instantly backfired. Critics flooded his comments, accusing him of arrogance, while Destiny's supporters accused him of flaunting success built on someone else's pain. It turned into a digital civil war between fan bases, and the more they fought, the more traction the story gained. Behind the curtain, insiders whispered that Martell's partnerships were beginning to waver, that a few sponsors had quietly postponed deals until the noise died down. He may have won the short-term spotlight, but the long-term damage was creeping in from every angle. Destiny, on the other hand, began playing a quieter game. She stopped posting and disappeared from public events altogether. Some thought she was regrouping, others assumed she was broken. But a few sources close to her hinted she was preparing something bigger. Rumors spread that she was working with legal counsel to challenge her termination, alleging that favoritism and manipulation had cost her both career and reputation. Whether or not it was true, that whisper alone sent shockwaves through the industry. Producers suddenly became cautious, PR teams tightened scripts, and cast members started avoiding direct references to her in interviews. It was as if everyone realized they might be one wrong sentence away from becoming the next casualty. Fans loved every bit of it. Reaction videos dissecting every glance and tweet were everywhere. YouTubers turned into amateur detectives, piecing together screenshots like they were FBI files. Some claimed to have inside information about a private meeting between Martell and a showrunner that sealed Destiny's fate, while others alleged that the network had destroyed footage that might have supported her side. Of course, none of it was proven, but the internet rarely needs proof when drama feels this real. The chaos only deepened when a voice note surfaced of a man, sounding suspiciously like Martell laughing, about how people believe anything they read online. Audio was grainy and unverifiable, but it spread like wildfire, and within hours, #MartellExposed was trending. His team denied it immediately, calling it another fake attempt to smear his name. Yet fans were unconvinced. Every denial seemed to make him guiltier in the court of public opinion. Meanwhile, Destiny's silence began to look like strategy. People started romanticizing her as the wronged underdog, the woman who got burned for being too real. In a world built on image and control, by the time the network finally released a vague statement months later, claiming creative changes were normal and that all cast adjustments were made for the betterment of the show, it was too late. The audience had already chosen its villains and victims. Destiny became a symbol of what happens when loyalty meets betrayal in the entertainment world. And Martell became the poster boy for charm turned cunning. The show's ratings spiked temporarily, but the trust between cast and production had cracked beyond repair. Destiny reportedly declined multiple offers to return under different formats, insisting she was done being a storyline for someone else's redemption arc. As for Martell, he kept smiling publicly, but insiders claimed he was struggling behind the scenes. Watching brand deals fade and realizing that fame without trust is just noise, the tension between them never officially resolved, but maybe it never had to. Their feud had already become part of pop culture history, a cautionary tale disguised as entertainment. In the end, no official verdict came from the network, no public apology was made, and no truth was ever confirmed. But that was the beauty of it for the audience. It left just enough mystery to keep everyone arguing, speculating, and waiting for whatever twist came next. Because on reality TV, the scandal never really ends, just changes faces. So now that you've seen how the story spiraled from friendship to betrayal, from television fame to real-life fallout, what do you think really happened behind those cameras? Was Destiny Payton truly the victim of manipulation and corporate politics? Or did she dig her own downfall with pride and silence? And what about Martell Holt? Was he just playing the game better than everyone else? Or did he finally cross a line that will come back to haunt him? The truth might never surface, but one thing is certain: this saga isn't over. There are still too many whispers, too many leaks, and too many people trying to rewrite what really went down. So don't just scroll past, drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me who you believe, and let's see whose version of the truth stands the test of time. If you want the next chapter of this madness, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more behind-the-scenes breakdowns, and turn on notifications because the next twist could drop any minute. Remember, in the world of reality TV, there's always another secret waiting to be exposed, and we'll be right here when it does.